There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. Groundbreaking information, startling information, and we'll get into this. It's about the Great Pyramid of Giza, and I just can't wait to dive into this. But first, a word from our very trusted sponsor. Folks, this is the Noble Gold Investments Market Update. Gold is up 46% in a year, doubling NASDAQ and S&P 500 gains. But this isn't just another rally. Global reserves are shifting as investors rush to secure physical gold, creating a massive supply gap. Gold is vanishing from the market, but you still have a chance. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today and turn their panic into profit. Make a qualified investment, and Noble Gold will add a free 1/10 of an ounce gold coin to your order. Folks, Peggy and I did this 2 years ago. Best thing we ever did. I predict it's going to go way over 3,000. That's conjecture on my part. There's always a risk with any type of transaction like this, but I'm glad we did it, and I have a lot of confidence in Noble Gold. Once again, noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. I'm reading from John, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Cremins, forgive me for this, but this is from X, and I just want to thank him for posting this. The Giza Pyramid's origin take an unsuspected turn. So for years, let me just set this up. For years, we were told that the Egyptians built the pyramids. Those of us who looked at the information said, not so fast, innocent, somebody else built these things. Zawi Hawass, with all due respect to Zawi Hawass has stated, pyramid for decades. Zawi Hawass insists that the Egyptians built the pyramids. I kept going, not so fast, Zawi, with all due respect, sir. The mathematics, the engineering, what's going on here, somebody else built these things. Somebody else. Then you got the whole ancient astronaut crowd, that ancient astronauts built these. IEET came in. The Christian crowd goes, well, this is the Pillar of Enoch. Other people like myself go, not so fast, citizen. Maybe this is fallen angel technology, Nephilim architecture. Maybe this created the grid that was on a global level before the flood. Maybe. Conjecture on my part. See, we don't know. We just don't know. And this is what's problematic with all this, because there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. Now why are they revealing this now? You know, what about Zawi Hawass telling us over and over and over again that, the Egyptians built the pyramids? So what I'm going to do, John, I'm going to take a screenshot here, and that way you guys can see it. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to the next slide, but before I do, listen to this. The Giza's pyramid origin take an unsuspecting turn. Advanced scans in 2025 have uncovered an astonishing underground complex beneath the Khafre Pyramid. That's the largest one. Researchers found 5 multi-level structures linked by pathways, 8 deep cylindrical wells plunging 648 meters. Think of that. Just get your head around that. How was that done in the ancient world, Mr. Hawass? Oh, wait a minute, it wasn't. Thank you very much. 8 deep cylindrical wells plunging 648 meters and 2 massive cubic chambers spanning 2 kilometers under the Giza Plateau. Fallen angel technology, Nephilim architecture? Could this be evidence of an even more advanced civilization that is responsible for the structures? It would be interesting to see if the other pyramid-like structures in other parts of the globe have the same type of structures beneath them. Time will tell. And in my opinion, this is what we're going to find. There was a grid. We talked about that in Watchers. If you want to go, you can stream it, streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. You want Watchers 6, The Secret Cosmic War, where Richard Shaw, my late business partner, and I had this cosmic download in the city of Cusco, 12,000 feet above sea level, where we had just visited the megalithic walls in Peru. It's all in the film, and we were just blown away by what we were seeing. And we realized there was a grid system. At the time, I was reading Grid of the Gods, and all of a sudden, everything just went, oh my gosh, there was a grid system that covered the planet. Now, and of course, this is pseudo-archaeology. Remember that. Pseudo-archaeology, LA. You're a pseudo-archaeologist, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. Archaeology has been stating for decades, right? That, nothing you see here, just keep moving. That all the stuff we see in the Americas and all over the world, that we have explanations for it. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And now let me just jump in here real quick. When you go to some of the places that I have been to, like Sacsayhuaman, clearly the Inca had nothing to do with this. When you go to Goga Raphaim, it begs the question, why take 40,000 tons of basalt rock and put them in concentric circles? When you go to Menga, Spain, and we film there, and you see the largest dolmen cap on the planet, this thing is huge. How is it moved, and why? And why are all the stones in the chamber slightly angled? Why is it that when you go to Zambujaro in Portugal, you see the same type of dolmen structure with a huge cap on it, and the stones are angled like this? We have a right to know what's going on. The American people, remember, these museums that are all around us are mostly funded by taxpayer dollars. We are presenting a petition. It's not ready yet. Hopefully it might be up tomorrow, and you'll be able to sign that, because we want to know what's in these museums, because they're funded by our taxpayer dollars. We have a right to know. So let's move on to the next slide. What we are looking at here, and I'll take a screenshot. This is a artist depiction of what this looks like. And you can see that there's, it's a very complex structure. It's a machine. I believe it was the Giza power plant. The question is, who built it? Do I believe E.T. built it? No, not in a million years. So who's left? Fallen angels or good angels? In my opinion, this is why the flood happened and this was all destroyed. Because God just, if the good angels built it, God's just not going to wipe this thing out. In my opinion, this is fallen angel technology. Now, that's conjecture on my part. Nephilim architecture. This is unbelievable. It rewrites history. It truly rewrites history in ways that are just mind-boggling. And I'll say it again. There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's why I am on the trail. So bully for these folks for coming out with this synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So what's happening reveals details, undiscovered high-resolution internal structure of the Great Pyramid. Okay, we get that. What you're looking at, you couldn't do this, 50 years ago. It didn't exist. The technology. Knowledge will increase. Men will run to and fro over the face of the earth. Daniel 2:43, right? Knowledge will increase. Men will run to and fro over the face. This is exactly what we're looking at. Knowledge increases. And as knowledge increases for the first time in thousands of years, we are penetrating, no pun intended, what lies beneath. And what we see is an advanced, very advanced technology. And in my opinion, it's not from E.T., it's fallen angel technology. Let's continue.
Developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock.
Folks, I'm on fire today because what we're seeing is just so over-the-top groundbreaking. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. People will take this data and say, ha-ha, proof of extraterrestrials. This is where it's going. Make no mistake about it. This is how they're going to spin it. But there's another theory here, and that theory is this. There's another paradigm to embrace, and that paradigm is a biblical prophetic paradigm, which states that fallen angels created this stuff. What we're looking at, fallen angel technology, Nephilim architecture. Let's continue.
In fact, over 6 few meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers, massive internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space and Umbra, which are 2 private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic, descending to an astonishing depth of 628 meters. Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. The tomographic data suggests that these are vertical wells with intricate spiral pathways.
I mean, could you do this today? I'm under any sure, on some level. But you go back thousands of years, how was this done? So we're looking at something that's been hidden from us.
Not only utilize a functional purpose, but also a level of sophisticated engineering that completely blows the dynastic Egypt. I mean, the pyramid itself was already a massive red flag in the ancient Egyptian historical narrative. But now, with this discovery, I think it's become impossible to say that the Egyptian civilizations that we understand, that we've been taught about, were responsible for building these structures. And
in Peter Tompkins' book, Secret of the Great Pyramids, he talks about this, the mathematical precision, the idea that this pyramid, if you take the land masses in the oceans and you divide the land masses and put a center, a point where all the land masses would be equal, that's what the Great Pyramid is. The mathematics alone for the Great Pyramid are absolutely astonishing. The fact that the bedrock is basically level for all practical purposes. How was that done? Millions of blocks, put in there with absolute precision. We're looking at technology that is profound, and now it's coming out. And I'm going to give you the punchline a little bit. Bear with me here, because all this is now being revealed. Why? Because we're in the last of the last days. That's why this stuff is being revealed for the first time. So here's the bottom line for me, folks. I think we're living in a window of time where these things are being revealed for the first time in history. We're being told, we're getting glimpses of the truth, which completely blows away the standard archaeological narrative. And, you get all these guys coming up, oh, this is conspiracy theory, no civilization, blah, blah, the Egyptians did it, da, 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 da. And I hear this over and over and over again. Oh, it's the Hopewell Indians who built all these mounds. Oh, the Shawnee built the Octagon Mound. And somehow they figured out the 18.5-year lunar cycle, Metonic cycle, which sits in the gateway of the Octagon Mound. How is it? No. We're looking at advanced mathematics, advanced engineering. We're looking at a lost civilization. And what's interesting is we don't get the same technology that we do at Giza over here with the mounds, but we get technology. So something is going on. And here's the punchline. Are we, and it's conjecture, it's a question, are we in a window of time, the end times, the last of the last days, where finally, after thousands of years, these secrets, which have been deliberately hidden, deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, are now coming forward? In my opinion, it's a resounding yes. That's exactly what we are looking at. Folks, there's so much information. On the Trail of the Nephilim, there are 8 films. We have the 10-box UFO set. Please go check it out. Rungs of Disclosure. You can stream all the films. Stream these at LAMarzulli.net. And I want to thank Ashley for being our host with Here's How to Get Rungs of Disclosure.
Thanks, LA. Hey guys, I'm Ashley, and I'm excited to talk to you about L.A. Marzulli's new book, Rungs of Disclosure. What has been called his most important work to date, Rungs of Disclosure uncovers the shocking truth about UFOs and UAPs, information that has been hidden from the public since the Roswell crash of 1947. The book begins with F-18 fighter pilot Commander David Fravor, who made headlines when he appeared on Tucker Carlson and stated on the record that the UFO he encountered was not of this earth. His testimony was the catalyst for this book, the first rung on the ladder of disclosure. LA warns that we are heading toward what he calls the coming Great Deception. Everything we know, now is the time to uncover the facts. Now is the time to be prepared. Visit rungsofdisclosure.com to get your copy of L.A. Marzulli's latest book today. Arm yourself with the truth about the UFO phenomenon from a biblical perspective. To explore all of LA's other work, head over to lamarzulli.com. Back to you, LA.
That's it for today, folks. I'll be back again. I'm following the story like white on rice. Just incredible. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, please remember, get this down into your spirit, man or woman. There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. Thanks for watching.